And welcome back to Daytime. Staying on the theme of arts, as I was talking about earlier in our own community, this time from Cambridge, we take you to uptown Waterloo and an exhibit and a chance for you to go not only see art, but to make it accessible to all of those that live in our own community. For some people, it seems like something that only the upper crust can participate in. That's not the case, and to prove it, our next guest will tell us more about her individual artwork, too. This is Kati Bujna, who is an artist extraordinaire and also here to tell us about the art exhibit and sale coming up for 3 days in uptown Waterloo. How are you?
Hi, very good.
You know, it's too bad that art is sometimes seen as something that one day, if I have a lot of money,
right, exactly,
I will be able to have art.
Exactly.
It shouldn't have to be that way, right?
No, you're right. You're right. And you know what? There's a great movement right now, not only in our community, across Canada. A lot of emerging artists getting out there and showing their work, building their and promoting their commercial studios, and really that's the key right now, and a lot of that is going on in our local community in uptown Waterloo.
You know, what's interesting is we have the students in studio right now, riveted watching this interview. You do a lot of art when you're in school, primary school. When you get to secondary school, you're in arts programs. And then for some, they sort of drift away from it.
Right.
Others stick with it. But you almost get to a point where they say, well, if you're not professionally good at it, you might as well not do it. And it's too bad it is that way, because it's such an expressive, creative form throughout your entire life, whether or not you sell anything or whether you do it for your own enjoyment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, art to me is really about observing the moment. You know, and those wonderful moments in your life that you get engaged with your environment or a milestone event.
Right.
And for me, you know, that's part of my creative process. So I need to express that. I need to express color and that emotion that I've felt in that moment.
And am I right to say for some that may be taking a camera and snapping a photo? Others it may be just the inspiration to grab some clay and mold it.
You got
Music, performance art.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the traditional forms, which obviously you participate in, which is painting.
Right, yeah, thank you.
Has it always been painting for you?
No, I've definitely been a musician. I learned how to play the piano as a child, but I gravitated toward the visual arts as I grew older.
Right.
And I am a member of the Waterloo Potter's Workshop as well. So it's funny because for me and for many artists, one medium kind of feeds the other. And I was in the ceramic arts for a few years, and that started to re-trigger my urges for painting. And now I mired myself in acrylic painting and doing a lot of collage work. And I've picked up some techniques from pottery and from the ceramic design where you create textures on a surface, and I've applied all that to the painting.
Are you someone that likes to describe, and we just showed your artwork, well, it's right behind us right now, but are you someone that doesn't mind describing the work and what your thought process was, or are you someone that likes to leave it open to interpretation?
That's a great question. Both.
Finally! The guy's been here how long? He asked a half-decent question. No. But I know some artists say, you know what? Hands off. Once I've completed it, whatever emotion it draws out in you. So which do you prefer?
No, I'm happy to talk about the art because I also think it's a process that people, really should get. Well, they want to know what's behind the thinking and the feeling of a particular piece. I had a couple last week at one of our open houses at the CEI studio complex. They purchased a really large painting, a 4 foot by 4 foot painting canvas, and Jane was just so taken with it, and she said she had been looking for it for 2 years. And my point is that she kept asking me, like, Kati, what were you feeling? What were the thoughts that went through this, through your mind as you were putting this wonderful collage together? And I have to say that it's in her living room right now. So, are you
happy to share that?
I took her through the story. I lived in Haliburton for 4 months. I did go to the Haliburton School of the Arts, and I met a group of practicing artists and other emerging artists. And as I was living in Haliburton and, living in a cottage by the lake, I absorbed all the imagery that was around me. And anybody that's been in Northern Ontario, the motifs, right?
Sure, yeah.
And that was, actually sort of integrated with the fact that I lost my father a couple of years ago. So it was an opportunity to sort of integrate this imagery as well as really connect to sort of that spiritual realm that I'm starting to connect to with my dad's passing.
And you know what? There's something about being that close to nature.
Right.
And that outside, I don't know why, but it brings that connection closer for some reason.
Absolutely. Nature
I don't know
is that
why,
way.
but being in nature, the birds, the wind, the sound of waves, somehow feel like you're just spiritually a little more connected.
I think you feel more alive
Yes.
because all your senses are firing, right? So it's just
we're out of here. We're going on a hike. Let's bring us to your promotion of the arts and the art exhibit and sale, which is coming up for 3 days.
Artist Rob Stock will be joining me for 3 days, June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. It's going to be held in the CEI Main Gallery, which is located on 42 Herb Street East.
Right.
It's that great old LCBO building.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of artists in there, but those 3 days will be dedicated to our art exhibit.
Yeah, it's just a little bit east of Weber Street, I guess,
got it.
as you're heading down the one way there on the left.
To walk down from King Street.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's an interesting build, and I know people have driven by as I have and thought, I hope they repurpose that for something.
Exactly.
What's going on in
Lots
there?
going on in there.
And we know something's going on specifically to put on the calendar the 21st, 22nd, and 3rd, and Uptown Waterloo. How many pieces will you be able to display in there, too?
I will have about 15 pieces, and Rob will have about 10. So together we're looking at a body of work of about 30 on one particular theme.
And they'll be able to buy them?
Yes.
They'll be for sale?
Yeah,
Wasn't that wonderful?
yeah.
You know what, I love, and I am somebody that has bought a painting and then had to try and contact the artist to say, would you mind emailing me or just telling me a little something about it?
Yes.
Now, that was through email. I would much have rather to just be right there with you.
Oh, yeah,
and say, walk me through this.
That's the dialogue,
I'd love to
and
know.
that's part of what is my goal here as an artist is engaging in that dialogue.
And make it
with
accessible.
Oh, for sure.
This isn't just
Absolutely.
for the rich, for the
No,
elite.
exactly.
Art can bring out emotion in anybody in their own way.
Exactly, you got it.
And you may just inspire someone to not only maybe purchase a piece, but also to get
actually
back
do
into the
it.
arts or get into the arts.
I'm happy to say that that's been going on. So
has it
it's
been already?
wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, your enthusiasm is infectious for the arts.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to start painting right now. And no, Susan, I don't mean the walls in your house. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right,
it.
we are back with more of the show.